This is the Tribe-WOD Thor Kettlebell, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to get one. But once I did, I realized it wasn't for everybody. Now stick with me and I'll explain. But first, let's just talk about how dope it looks. Now come on, y'all. I know I ain't the only one out here who still fantasizes about being a superhero, and the thought of getting a beast mode strength workout with something like this was way too much for me to pass up on, but the sticker price on this bad boy definitely created some hesitation. Tribe-WOD is charging a mint for these boys. They range from $99 for the lightest 15-pound hammer all the way up to $199 for the 70-pound heaviest of the 5. The increments are 15, 25, 35, 55, and 70 pounds. Now, if you get to this point of the review and feel like you've heard everything you need to hear to hit the buy button, slow down, Flash. Don't play yourself. This ain't your normal kettlebell, and you need to know a little bit more, so stick with me. Traditional kettlebells are known more for addressing joint mobility, explosive power, connective tissue strength, mental focus, and breathing than simply lifting weights. And although the Thor Kettlebell Hammer does all of that, it also requires hella grip strength. So you're gonna have to be careful about which one of these you choose to purchase. You see, the weight of the Thor kettlebell sits at the end of the handle, so your forearm and wrist strength is going to determine what you can actually use this thing for. And my personal trainer experience tells me that most people will need to purchase no more than a 15-pounder to get the greatest flexibility out of one of these things. Now let me show you a little experiment that y'all could do at the crib. This TV tray weighs 6.5 pounds, but its weight gets heavier as it extends away from my hand. Now I can pretty easily hold it up here with my wrist locked. But if I turn my wrist slightly in any direction, I have to rely on the tiny muscles in my wrist to stop this tray from quickly heading towards the ground. This effect is magnified by the Thor kettlebell by its design, creating a situation where most overhead exercises holding the handle a few inches below the head of the hammer is going to become a little sketchy and actually kind of dangerous. Real quick, if you're getting value out of what I'm talking about here today, go ahead and hit that like button for me real quick. I'd appreciate it, but let's keep it moving. There are some really cool exercises that I've dreamed up with this Thor hammer, but I have the 25-pound model, and I'll be putting my friends and clients in some dangerous positions if I ask them to try all of them. And to be honest, I'm not always totally comfortable with what I'm doing with this thing once I start getting tired. The knockout blow really ain't that far from becoming a reality. A lot of people will opt for a big heavy one of these and skip a nice opportunity to work on forearm and grip strength, and I feel like you might as well get a heavier traditional kettlebell for a cheaper price if you're going to do that. But there are a bunch of exercises that I prefer using my Thor kettlebell with, like cleans, goblet squats, which I think a lot of my clients prefer over the traditional kettlebell, the Thor kettlebell squat, the two-hand overhead press, the lunge from the goblet squat hold, the shoulder rack hammer lunge, and the alternating Thor hammer swing, which is amazing for grip strength over the traditional kettlebell, just to name a few. Originally, when I thought these kettlebells only came in 25 and 35-pound increments, I was going to put this thing on blast and not recommend that y'all try it. But when I saw they added a 15-pound version, I decided to follow through with my review, and here's what I have to say about that. I believe this Thor kettlebell is an option for some of y'all. At $100 for one 15-pound kettlebell, you're going to have to be a much bigger baller than me to flip for a set of these, which will really take these workouts to a whole nother level. Now, once you start moving up the weight chart, it only gets worse. But if you can afford it and don't mind the limited number of exercises that most of you will be able to safely perform with one of these heavier options, I'd say, go ahead and get you some, Odin. All right, if you got any questions about what I talked about here today, hit me in the comments or email me at vern@usolidfitness.com. And if you like what I had to say here today, please hit that like button, give me one of those Fonzarellis, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that button too. Love and peace, everybody.